She had attracted national attention along with 7 other African-American women, celebrated on social media with a viral photo and the hashtag Black Girl Magic. Leaders of the new city of South Fulton, which isn't even 2 years old. But this afternoon, one of those pioneering women is out.
That's right. The judge is more controversial than celebrated as the city council members voted to fire her today. 11 Alive's John Sherrick reports from South Fulton.
Months of rancor between supporters and critics of the city of South Fulton's Chief Municipal Court Judge Tiffany Sellers ended with the city council voting to fire her. The vote 6-1. Tiffany Sellers, a veteran attorney and the 2-year-old city's first Chief Municipal Court judge, praised by supporters as progressive on the bench, but blasted by critics as a divisive and autocratic court chief off of the bench. Sellers herself pointed out to the city council the petition to fire her does not accuse her of violating any laws.
The petition is simply a listing of inadmissible hearsay statements aimed at creating a false narrative to attack my character and undermine my leadership. With regard to the accusations of a disgruntled former employee, let me be clear. I am not a bully, and any claims to the contrary are slanderous and false.
But Councilmember Helen Willis said she used to be one of Sellers' supporters until 2 court employees went on the record with their accusations against Sellers' leadership. Sellers said she expected the vote would be against her. She says she's already started the process of going to Fulton County Superior Court to appeal her dismissal.
John Sherrick reporting. Thank you.